now we have our grand finale, Eliana. And this story, let's just take a deep breath.
Let's just shake it out.
Exhale. We've taken in a lot of emotion tonight, right? So now I'd like to welcome Eliana to the stage. Her story, she says, is her answer to her ancestors' prayers.
That's deep.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's really deep.
Eliana!
Eliana!
There he was, tall, handsome, a protector, a provider, everything that I've ever wanted in a man sitting right in front of me. It's midnight and we're at this cute cafe and it's old, there's like wooden walls and it's busy. So you can hear the chit chatter in the background, you can hear the kitchen noises, and the server comes up and takes her order. He orders a breakfast omelet, and I order a salad and a hot tea. The moment the server walked away, all the noise faded away with him. And all you could hear was my heart. Boom, 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 boom. He starts telling me about his day, but I'm not paying attention because I'm enthralled, right? I'm thinking of all of his mannerisms. I'm observing the way he moves. I notice how perfectly curled his eyelashes are. I start fantasizing about our future together, this empire that we would build, all the amazing sex that we would have together. And suddenly a tingly feeling starts to come through my body and it moves its way up and I start to feel really hot and I go out of breath and I almost blurt out, "I love you." But I didn't, because there was some chit chatter that started to happen. And ladies and gentlemen, my tias, my abuelas, my ancestors entered the chat, okay? All of a sudden it's like, "Oye, Eliana, did you forget? Como que he didn't really communicate with you a lot this week. Oye, ¿tú te olvidaste que you had this really big shoot a week ago and you really wanted to celebrate and he como que wasn't available to celebrate with you?" The other one hops in. "See, Nana, you know that you're gonna drive home alone tonight. You're gonna go home and he's gonna go home to his," shh, they all say. "Ah, ella se olvidó, she forgot. He's still in a relationship." I jump in, I'm like, espérate. I'm like, they live together, he's not in love, he's working his way out of the relationship, we've been talking about this, plus he's here with me, okay? And they're like, So I go back into the conversation, completely ignoring them. And I catch him right as he says, "You know, it's crazy how we met. It's crazy that I feel so comfortable with you. You make me so happy. You're someone that I can see myself falling in love with and wanting to marry." He said that to me, okay? And when I tell you, that 10-year-old little girl, that little gordita who felt abandoned because her father was taken away to jail for 30 years, that little gordita who felt unlovable and unattractive because she was constantly told how fat she was and she was too fat for this and too fat for that, she was leaping with joy because these were words that we had been waiting to hear our entire lives. So I took a moment and I sat in that moment and I marveled in those words. But then I was quickly interrupted by reality. And those voices came back in and they're like, "Pregúntale, ask him." And I knew there were questions that needed to be asked. So I asked and I said, "So what's the plan? How are we gonna make this work?" And he sits back and takes a deep breath and I hold my breath for what feels like forever. And 3 words came out of his mouth. "I don't know." And all of a sudden, there's sirens and bells and whistles in my head, and it's like, "Exit now, exit now, exit now." And my beautiful fantasy just starts to crumble right in front of my eyes. And he keeps talking, and I kind of tune him out, and I'm feeling heavy-hearted and melancólica, because I know what this means. And Héctor Lavoe's De Ti Depende starts playing in my head. Enamorada estoy de un imposible, confunde mi pensar, la van a esperar. Voy viviendo de ilusión y fantasías, esperando un amor que nunca llega. Suddenly, I had to see the situation for what it was and not what I had dreamed it up to be. What I really wanted to say was, fuck you mean you don't know? What? Like, we've been at this for months. Llevamos meses and you don't know? But therapy has my New York attitude under control. And I said, you don't know. And he jumps in and he's like, es que it's complicated. Our lives are so interwoven. I would basically have to blow my life up to make this work. And I'm terrified. I don't want to lose you. And I saw the sincerity in his eyes. I saw the dilemma in his eyes. So I started thinking about all the solutions. I'm like, okay, what are my options? ¿Qué options? ¿Qué options, Eliana? You know options? What are you going to do? Sit around and wait to be chosen? Be the other woman? Act like you can just be friends and it's okay? We're not doing that anymore. You know, it's funny, I have been successful in almost everything that I put my mind to career-wise. I wanted to become a model, an actress, a host, a filmmaker, move to LA as a self-employed artist, and boom, I did it, lo hice sin problema, because I know my worth when it comes to my work. But when it comes to love, Eliana can't seem to get her shit together. Okay? I can walk away from thousands of dollars if the deal isn't right. But here I am considering a situation that I know is going to be harmful. So I made a decision, quietly, inside of me and for me. And I zoom back into the present situation. He's paying the bill. I smile at him. I take a sip of my hot tea, and we start walking our way out of the restaurant. And right before we part ways, he comes in for a kiss. And I go in for a hug instead. And I held him really, really, really tight. And I whispered in his ear. And I said, I love you. But this isn't good for me. And I can't do this. And I deserve better, and so do you. And I took a moment to feel his beard brush against my cheek one last time. And I looked him lovingly in the eyes, and I walked away. And the truth is, I wasn't walking away from him per se, right? I wasn't walking away from the person. I wasn't saying no to him. I was walking away from the old me, right? I was saying no. I was saying no to the old me that didn't know or believe that she deserved better. I was saying no so that I could say yes to becoming a full woman that is successful and confident, not just in her career, but also in love, because I deserve that as well. And I walked back to my car and I sat in silence. And all of a sudden, I hear, boom, 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 boom! Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the new Eliana. Woo! She's so amazing! And I started laughing because I knew that I had healed that little gordita. I knew that now she believed that she was always worth it. I also felt like I healed generations of women in my lineage that didn't have the privilege of knowing that they deserved better. And right before I turned on my car to leave, I looked at the time. And it was 2:22 a.m. 222, an angel number that represents growth, balance, and positivity. And I knew in that moment that I had never been alone, I will never be alone, and that I would never be the same.